December 13th of 2021, Adam, Lindsey, and I, in the not yet completed new media center at Gainesville High School, had a sit down with Josh Niblett. It was his first chat as the Red Elephants' new head football coach. It's with both pain and pride that we sit down with him again in this new year, 2026, for his final chat as Gainesville's head football coach. An opportunity, one that is not ours to disclose, but that will be heard of soon enough, has come Coach's way. An opportunity he would be a fool to refuse. So 4 years, 2 region titles, 2 state runner-up finishes as part of a 45-9 record. But more importantly, countless lives, both young and old, changed for the better, and a community brought back together. As we said it would be on that December day in 2021. So, Coach, I'm going to let you have the mic here so that I don't blubber like I did the last time we talked. But, yeah, the first thing I think we want to say, both Adam and myself, is thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can't thank you enough for taking a chance on us.
Because it was at the time. It was taking a chance. We didn't have a whole lot to offer. There was a lot of promise there. There was a lot of vision there. But in the immediate, it wasn't like Gainesville football was winning a whole lot of titles.
No doubt.
I had a lot of hungry kids who wanted to, who were Gainesville boys and wanted to do it. But certainly did not have the acumen that which, and again, I go back to, I'm going to kind of let everybody get themselves together here for a minute, but I go back to that December day and the first question, and I wanted to be the one to answer it because I'm a Gainesville kid, and knew that people would listen to the answer given to a Gainesville kid. Why the heck are you coming here?
Yeah. You,
with everything you've earned yourself, coming to this place that has literally nothing to offer you right now, except a vision that was Adams, a vision that was Dr. Williams. The potential for great facilities. Fortunately, you saw it to fruition, Coach. But just thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This is tough.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean,
well, it's tough for you when you surround yourself with people that you love and you trust and you respect, and you come to work every day on a consistent basis to make each other better. I think that's what we sought out our vision to be 4 years ago was, just better. How can we show up every day and just make small gains in Gainesville, right? And, it started the first meeting I had with Adam and talking on the phone, and God, I struggled with it and I fought it. I mean, I really fought it. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And you guys know that this is a ministry for me. And I only want to be where God wants me to be, affecting people in a way that only God can. And, and I just remember when I got that peace of mind to know that this is where I'm supposed to be. And I remember sitting down and doing an interview with you in the new media center and just, understanding how important Gainesville was to so many people.
Yeah.
Right. And to get that respect back. But also, I think my biggest thing is culture. I know a lot of people talk about culture all the time. And there was a lot of people before I came here that tried to tell me, well, this is kind of what you need to expect or this, that, and other. But I've always just been a guy that's been like, you know what? I'm different than everybody else. So I'm going in there and my expectations of myself are totally different than what other people have for me. And I knew once I got in here and I saw those kids, I looked in their eyes, I knew they were looking for a leader and they wanted somebody that was going to love them. And I knew there was 2 things that was going to happen when I was here that I take a lot of pride in. Is I'm going to love my kids. I'm going to love my coaches. By gosh, I'm going to show up every day. I may not be the best ball coach, and we may not win every game, but I wanted to make sure those kids knew when they left here every day that somebody loved them and somebody was going to be waiting on them in the morning to let them know they loved them again. And that's the hardest part for me is because I personally put so much in my heart, my family, the love I have. And I think that's why I get emotional because, it's some people can just leave, take, do whatever, but I've just always tried to invest myself in what I do. And I'm so appreciative of you, Adam, and Dr. Williams, and just the community and KDB, I mean, like the passion you have for Gainesville, but to take a shot on me because you didn't know me. You know what I'd done or some of the stuff I'd done, but you don't know how that equates to when you get here. Can I work with this guy? Like, what's this guy like? Or like, what are the expectations he's going to have versus the expectations we have? We can sit down and talk about it, but there was a true connection there where I needed y'all as much as you needed me, and I think the only thing that I regret the most is when I stood in that new place, the new cafeteria, and I said, I didn't come here to win games. I came here to win championships. And I didn't win a state championship, and I wanted to be able to do that. And that'll bother me for a long time because I take that kind of stuff personal. But I wouldn't trade 1 second of any time that I've been here. This has been the most rewarding job that I've ever had. And I can't say that about everything, but I can say that about this time period with me and my family. So
I can go back to, and I've told the story a bunch, the conversations that you and I had, going on over a week, 2 and 3 hours a night, kind of getting to know each other. You originally turned us down.
Yep.
And I called him back and I said, look, I feel like you can make more of a difference here than you could ever make at Hoover. And you've done it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm thankful for.
Well, and you know what? I mean, like, and the thing I tell people, like, if you're going to be a part of our program now, you're going to have to work hard. Like, you're going to show up every day. Like, it don't just happen. Like, we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into what we do around here.
Yep.
And people just think it kind of happens, but it don't just happen. Like, you have to work at it every day. You have to find a way to give a better version of yourself every day. Because if you don't, you're not going to last in our program. Because you got to be committed to that. That's top down, And, we have that in all facets of what we have here within our school. Yep. I mean, where we've come from in the school the last 4 years, and just watching these students connect and have shared experiences at school, to watch all of our athletes support each other, all our programs support each other. And then, not be afraid that you could pull something from this sport and this sport could pull something from this sport. And it's just all about trying to find a better way to do it. And I'm very appreciative of that. And, but this is an opportunity for me and my family that, I wasn't looking for. And it kind of happened, and it's been it's been tough. I mean, it has. But my time here, like, that's what I was telling my wife last night. I was like, I'm still the head coach at Gainesville. I mean, I'm not leaving here to go to some other high school, and so
for which you would be damned for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We would not be having this conversation.
We wouldn't
right
be
now.
doing a podcast right now. Yeah. Well,
and wouldn't nobody be crying.
And know that that's me, and who I am, and I think that's been the greatest thing is that I hope people have got to know who I am and what I'm about these last 4 years in this community, and then how much they mean to me, and how much I love them, and how much I'll always have their back. And this place will always be number one on my list.
And it's funny you mentioned, the not knowing. We spent a ton of time talking, but not knowing really what each other was going to get. And I think that's one of the most rewarding things for me is just the effect you've had on my life. You've made me a better athletic director. You've made me a better person. I've enjoyed your friendship more than anything.
No doubt. Well, that's what's going to last longer than any record or any time that we spent. I mean, you ask anybody, like as an athlete, like, what do you miss? As a coach, what do you miss? You miss the time that you spend together. Yep. You don't miss the adversity that you went through. You miss the time that you got to do it together. Like that moment of where you sharpened each other up and you got to know each other better. I think that's the important part. When I was a player, I enjoyed the locker room and practice more than I did the games. It's probably because I didn't play as much in the games, maybe. And as a coach, I enjoy putting a plan together. I enjoy being around my staff. I enjoy being around my players. I enjoy my players walking by my office and telling me they love me. That's important. And, I want to be able to bring that same effect to where I go at the next level.
It's always about the relationship. And I know that's whenever I'm, seeking out head coaches, the first thing I go to is, does this individual build relationships? Do they connect with kids? And I think that's the biggest thing, that I think that you brought to the table right away is that ability to connect with our kids, for them to know right out the gate that you loved them, that you cared for them, that you were going to do anything for them. And that's not just what you've done with the kids. That's what you've done with all of us. And that relationship piece has been absolutely huge.
You say connect with the kids, and that was, you walked into the lunchroom the day we did the big introduction for you, and like every current varsity football player we had, but every football player that was coming up in Gainesville's program, their eyes never left you. And I don't know that was that. I do know that was not a standard they had been taught up to that point.
Yeah,
no eye left you. Connection to the kids. But I also remember how this community reacted to you. First of all, showing up like they did for that day. Forget all the times afterwards, right? But how they showed up that day when, again, we hadn't given them much to show up for. And they showed up, and then you began talking, and none of their eyes left you. It was the connection to the kids, connection to the community. And for me, thankfully, got to experience both because I am a lifelong member of this community and love it so much here. Knew from chatting with you what you were going to do from that side of things. But then I got to see it from a personal standpoint with Baxter, who was your first quarterback here. And he had fallen out of love with football. He hated it. And you changed. Not only did you make him love it again, did you give him the opportunity to love it again? You didn't make him. You gave him the opportunity to love it again. But you also gave him tools that changed who he was as a human being and allow him to be successful to this day, but not only be successful, to sustain in adversity these little habits, right? That he knows when his time comes, he's going to be able to look back on and go, I'm able to be present in this opportunity and be great in this opportunity because I was given these tools to get through adversity, still being who I am. You gave that to him. And that's not to say his parents didn't help. That's not to say I didn't help. But that was you. That was the staff you put together. That was the culture you built here. And so from a community standpoint, but also a very personal standpoint, literally cannot thank you enough. And listen, again, we'd be having a totally different conversation, i.e. not one at all. If Coach was leaving us to go to a different high school anywhere in this country, because there is none better than Gainesville. There might be some that match us, but they're none better. We wouldn't be having a conversation at all. But I'm so daggum proud for you. I'm so proud for you. And I know that exactly what you did here, wherever your feet land, you're going to do the exact same thing there. I know it with every ounce of my being. I want to ask you this, though, with that said. Coach, you have been a fortunate man to have you're not a bridge burner. So that would, every place, when you've been given an opportunity to leave, you've been happy at the place you were leaving. It was never a disgruntlement that then led to you seeking something else out. You were sought out despite being happy. To me, that is that is the biggest sign of being a very blessed individual. What are your thoughts on the great fortune that is?
Well, I'm not going to turn this into an evangelistic podcast, but you guys know that. I'm a spiritual guy. I'm a faith-based guy. I don't wake up every day condemned by my fears. I wake up every day convicted by my faith. And so, and there's some days where you're trying to figure out, I remember coming here, stepping out on faith because I didn't know anybody. I'm about to step out on faith to not know anybody hardly. But I do think I always prided myself on my job of being where my feet are and working hard at what I was doing and knowing that God was going to provide me. Can I say that everybody's eyes wander every now and then and head wanders every now and then, just because that's just kind of what the human flesh does. But God has a way of keeping me, in line and in my lane, doing what I'm called to do, because there was a mission here that only I could complete.
Yeah.
There's a mission, there's a message here. This program will go on. But in these 4 years, there was a message only I could give, And so for me, I take a lot of pride in that. When I was at Hoover, it was the same way. When I was at Oxford High School before that, it was the same way. Aniana, it was the same way. Jacksonville State University, it was the same way. And I think God has always provided for me. Maybe sometimes not at the time I thought he was supposed to. I learned a long time that God's delays are not God's denials, that God will give you opportunities, but it tells us in Psalms that if you'll delight yourself in the Lord, he'll give you the desires of your heart. And I've just always tried to not get my order messed up, where times that I do, but making sure I put him first, and he'll put me where I need to be. And look, it's been a true blessing to be where I'm at right now. And God, I don't know. I just think God has taught me that coaching's a ministry, and I think that's what's helped me make a difference in kids' lives. I think that's why we've won. I don't think God picks this or that. I just think I do it for the right reasons to do it. I'm not perfect by no means.
Yeah.
But if you're around our program and see what we do, we just try to do it the right way. We try to treat kids fair. Now, high truth, high love sometimes is not what everybody wants to hear. Choosing hard is not easy every day. Trying to put the G before me is not easy every day in this day and time. But those are the 3 core values of our program that we believe in, and that we're going to live out, and I'm going to hold everybody accountable to. So I feel like when God puts a calling on you, then the people that he surrounds you with, then I think you got to make sure you take that to heart and be a good servant of it.
Coach, and I know it's not really necessarily time to look back on your time here, but I know you're a reflective guy. What will you look back and remember most about your time here at Gainesville? I know for you, it's always about the and you'll repeat this way better than I will, but you talked about the guys that you could affect in year one, but it was going to take a while before you started impacting kids.
Yeah.
I know that'll be a huge piece for you, but when you really kind of look back at your time here at Gainesville, what is it that you'll take with you?
Well, probably the first thing I'll take away, and some of these are funny too, to a certain extent.
Well, good. We need some funny.
So we go to South Gwinnett my first spring, and I'm putting together this team, and we go over there and they come out and warm up and
Monsters.
oh my gosh. I'm like, good Lord, welcome to Georgia football, and the official comes over to me and he goes, hey, is this everybody? I'm like, yeah, this is it right here. This is our guys. Yep, right here.
And do they blow up at all, or is this just the size they are?
It's just like that. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, here we go. I was like, just tee it up. Just tee it up. We'll see. And so when it's over with, we pretty much kind of dominated them during the spring game. He come up, shook my hand. He goes, I'll see you in December. So, just earned amount of respect in our program in 2.5 hours, and then I think it was that first group, I knew we were tough. We were tremendously tough. But I'm going to tell you what I was most proud of is teaching guys how to handle emotion.
Yeah.
We have a saying, play with emotion, but don't be emotional. And it took us a little while to learn it, but I love the toughness, and I didn't want to take that away from our guys. Yeah. And so, we just learned how to channel it a little bit better. I remember the first day I was at practice. We're in helmets and shells. We're tackling below the waist. I'm like, hey, man, no, we can't. Look, we got to learn how to practice too now, And then we go to 7-on-7s, and I think a couple of years before that, they got thrown out of a couple for some different things. So I'm like, hey, man, our goal is we're going to finish the 7-on-7. Yeah. And then that year, we just got on a roll. We played some good football. We played some really good teams early. I think what helped me is I didn't know who they were.
Correct.
Yeah.
So everybody's like Marist.
Yeah.
But now, you think about now, all the teams that we're playing now, and when we played Winder Bear, and I couldn't eat the day of the fall jamboree because we're playing Winder Bear. I'm seriously I didn't know who they were, and then. Then you look and then, we come out and we play Marist on the road, and to watch that team continue to gain confidence and then leadership as we went through and then get to the finals. And, if we played better for about 58 seconds, we probably win that one where nobody gave us a chance. We come back the next year. I'm really excited about the group that came back. I thought our senior leadership was unbelievable. the bad part about it is we just had a couple of guys get injured, and when 60% of your offensive, 65% of your offensive productivity is injured within the third series of the game, it's not good in the third round.
Third series of the game, but by God, I still felt good.
Yeah. Well, and if we don't get one call back, we probably still win the game.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, and then just we didn't play as well the next year. And so we take a step back, and then to watch this group this year come back, bow their back, and say, hey, you know what? It's going to be different this year. And then we did, probably one of the best off seasons I've ever had as a coach. I mean, with all the book studies I did with our staff, what I did with the players, we did a book study in the summer. We did a lot of stuff to really create some connection. And it probably didn't happen as fast as everybody wanted, because if you remember in the spring, we struggled in the spring. Mm-hmm. We couldn't get a first down and we couldn't stop a nosebleed. I mean, we couldn't. Yep. We just couldn't do it. And so we set a goal out in benchmarks in the summer that, hey, look, here's the deal. We got to be better by the time padded camp comes around. We got to see an improvement. And we did see an improvement. Yep. We had our first padded camp here, which was for us, which was awesome. Yep. And actually ended up Rome, who ended up playing in the semis, was here. Jefferson was here. Newton was here. And so, we had some really good teams come here, and Cedar Shoals. And so we go into the first game and we play McEachern, and, I think we played pretty good. And so I think I started figuring out, hey, you know what, man, we got a chance. I think this group's got a chance. We got to stay healthy, but I think we got a chance. And then we go to Milton, and we go on the road and beat them at Milton, and that was a huge win for this program, and that was a huge win for me and our era of being here. And I think that was big for us. And then we probably don't play as well as we would have wanted to. We needed one more stop or one more score against Roswell, or we win a third, region championship. But we don't, and we regroup. And then everybody knows everything that happened in the playoffs, all the adversity that we had went through. And then for our kids to go on the road and win at Langston Hughes, turn around and go on the road again and win at Rome, and then play 3 games in 12 days. I mean, I'll take a lot from that because the first group was tough, and they were a tough group, but this group showed how tough they were. I knew that group was tough when I first met them. I could see it in their eyes, but this group proved to be tough. And I think they both ended up being like they needed to be at the end of the year, and they both played for the same thing. Because, I think that's important, because if you got a tough team, they're going to have a chance to play for it. No doubt.
So you just looked back at, I want to look back at this real quick, and then we're going to wrap up with you, which I'm going to hate to do. But difference between Georgia and Alabama football, go.
Depth. There's no doubt. I do think top of the line in each class in Alabama can play with top of the line each class in Georgia. But when you talk about now you're getting into that second, third, fourth team, I just think there's more athletes, more teams on top of teams with great talent than there is in Alabama. There's no doubt about it.
And congratulations to Moody on their state championship. Congratulations to him on their state championship.
And we talked about how good of a team that was whenever we beat the crap out of them.
It blew my mind we were talking about it, but whatever. Yeah.
Well, we had to at some point get in the Alabama versus Georgia question.
I had to.
No, you're not wrong.
And this is a fitting time to do it, right?
Well, it is. I mean, and I would tell you this, just being in it. I mean, everybody talks about Texas football, and Texas probably has even more teams on top because their numbers are so big. I mean, you go to those high schools, there's 6,000 kids in their highest classifications in the senior class. I mean, they do 3 graduations. They have 2 freshman teams, 2 JV teams, 2 junior teams, and then a varsity team.
That's insane.
And so insane. The numbers are different, but I would put Georgia football up against anybody. I would. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. And after being in it, and we talked about it even on the way back. I mean, look, man, you do what we did and go through what we've done to get to where we were in the second to the last highest classification. It's pretty unbelievable in Georgia.
Doubt.
So,
I'll kind of get us to where we can close out, Coach, and kind of give you the last word here. But just before we do, again, I want to thank you for taking a shot on us. I want to thank you for being with us every day, being present, being where your feet are. I want you to know I'm beyond excited for you. Looking forward to keeping up with you.
Yeah.
And know we will stay in touch. But just thank you for what you've meant to me too.
Well, that means a lot to me because, I think the hardest thing for me is just by doing this is letting some people down, and you don't want to let people down. I don't like doing that ever, But for you, when I talked to you, you were like, man, I'm so excited for you, and that meant the world to me because you didn't have to be, and I appreciate you not treating me like I'm just another coach, but that we were partners.
Absolutely.
And there's no doubt about that. And partners don't break.
Yep.
They don't break. They stay in touch. They stay connected. They still have shared experiences. And so, we're not going to lose that on my behalf. I can promise you that.
Absolutely.
And I just appreciate y'all letting me come on and give my vibe.
That's right. That's right.
Every week and talk about our program, and because these kids deserve it. I mean, they work their tails off. This program deserves it. And Gainesville deserves it, and they deserve to hear about it. But yeah, I'm truly blessed to have been able to coach here, and I know God sent me here for a reason.
Absolutely.
And and hopefully my time here, I don't know. I mean, you just hope that your time here added value because I know it added value to me.
Amen.
And that's all I care about. I don't care about being remembered. I don't care about any of that. I just care about the standards in which we set here will still last, and still be a part of this program. Mm-hmm. I pray for that. And I pray over these kids. I pray over this staff. I just pray over the success of this program and the school system, and know what it's been able to do the last 4 years and the levels of better we have gotten. And I pray it'll continue to get better. So I just, I want everybody out there to know how much I love them and care for them and how much I appreciate them and their support. And, one last time, I just want to wish everybody a Go Big Red and a God bless you and a Go Big Red.